There's nothing quite like the late June release window of the PlayStation 2 era. The massive summer blockbuster movies, they were dominating the multiplexes, and publishers, well, they were absolutely desperate to get a piece of your hard-earned money. Welcome back to This Week in PlayStation 2 History. I'm Dan Gnadt, the PS2 guy, and today I'm zeroing in on a very specific date, June 28th, across 2002 and 2006. Today we're unpacking three fascinating titles that perfectly encapsulate the mid-2000s summer gaming vibe. We've got an incredibly fast-paced arcade shooter based on a massive movie sequel, a co-op pirate hack and slash that actually managed to secure real-life A-list Hollywood talent for its voice acting, and a completely forgotten B-tier Mascot platformer that mashed up Ratchet and Clank with straight-up werewolf mechanics. Grab a drink, settle in, and let's jump straight into the history. While most movie tie-in games try to give you a slow, cinematic adventure, Men in Black 2 does the opposite and gives you a massive gun so you can unleash pure, unfiltered arcade chaos. We kick off our late June timeline on June 28, 2002, with Infograms and Melbourne House's frantic sci-fi shooter Men in Black 2 Alien Escape. Releasing right alongside the highly anticipated theatrical sequel, this game took a completely unexpected approach. Instead of trying to mimic the slow, investigative pacing of the movie, the developers looked at classic twin-stick top-down arcade shooters like Smash TV or Robotron and shifted the camera behind the player's back and created a relentless run-and-gun action game. The premise is straightforward. A prison ship holding the scum of the universe has crashed on Earth, and it's up to you, Agent J and Agent K, to clean up the mess. From the moment you hit start, the game throws absolute hordes of extraterrestrial freaks at you. You are constantly strafing, dodging, rolling, and holding down the trigger. It's pure arcade-style adrenaline. To handle the chaos, you are given an incredibly satisfying arsenal of iconic MIB weaponry. You start with your standard issued J2 blaster, but you quickly unlock heavy plasma cannons, homing missile launchers, and of course the legendary Noisy Cricket, which packs a devastating punch but literally throws your character backwards with its recoil. The game grades you at the end of every level based on your accuracy, the number of aliens neutralized, and the collateral damage you cause to the environment. While it didn't push the PS2 hardware to its absolute graphical limits, Alien Escape understood exactly what it was meant to be: a loud, explosive, easily digestible summer weekend rental that you could completely turn off your brain and enjoy. Movie tie-in games of the era were notorious for using terrible sound-alikes, but this 2006 hack-and-slash adventure actually brought in Johnny Depp to carry the entire game. Fast forward exactly 4 years to June 28, 2006, and we arrive at Pirates of the Caribbean: The Legend of Jack Sparrow. Developed by 7 studios and published by Bethesda, yes, that Bethesda, this game was released to capitalize on the massive hype surrounding the second film, Dead Man's Chest. However, instead of just recreating the new movie, this game cleverly acts as a highlight reel of Jack Sparrow's entire life, framed entirely through a highly exaggerated story he is telling sitting in a prison cell. The absolute masterstroke of this game is that they secured Johnny Depp to voice Captain Jack Sparrow. Depp completely leans into the performance, delivering the slurred, charismatic, and heavily improvised dialogue that made the character a global icon. Because the narrative is being told from Jack's highly unreliable perspective, the levels become wildly exaggerated. A simple bar fight turns into an epic showdown against dozens of elite assassins. A minor skirmish with British Royal Navy becomes a mythical explosive battle. Mechanically, it's a highly polished hack-and-slash action-adventure. You utilize a deep combo system mixing light and heavy sword strikes, flintlock pistols, and environmental attacks. But the game really hits its stride when you utilize the drop-in, drop-out co-op multiplayer. A second player can jump in at any time and take control of Will Turner or Elizabeth Swann, allowing you to execute synchronized finishing moves. You could use collected gold to purchase massive upgrades, unlocking flaming swords, explosive grog barrels, and devastating new attack strings. It completely over-delivered on the standard movie tie-in formula and remains one of the best ways to experience the Pirates franchise on classic hardware. If you take the guns of Ratchet and Clank, the platforming of Jak and Daxter, and throw in a random werewolf transformation, you get this glorious, forgotten 2006 B-tier classic. Releasing on the exact same day, June 28, 2006, we have an absolute textbook example of the PS2 era Mascot platformer boom. Ruff Trigger, the Vanocore Conspiracy, developed by PlayLogic and Natsumi. By 2006, games like Ratchet & Clank and Jak and Daxter completely laid out the blueprint for success. Publishers were hungry for anything that featured a furry protagonist holding a massively oversized sci-fi gun, and Ruff Trigger stepped up to the plate to deliver exactly that. You play as Ruff Trigger, a deeply cynical, hot-headed canine bounty hunter working for the boss PI agency. Ruff is dispatched to a remote planetary system to recover a shipment of tiny, highly marketable, genetically engineered pets known as piglets. The game loop is unapologetically derivative of its inspirations, but it executes those mechanics in a surprising amount of charm and polish. You run, jump, and blast your way through diverse alien environments using an arsenal of upgradable weapons. But where Ruff Trigger attempts to carve out its own unique identity is with the lichen mechanic. By consuming a specific mysterious energy drink found throughout the levels, Ruff violently transforms into a hulking, glowing werewolf creature. In this lichen form, you lose access to your firearms but gain massive melee strength and incredible speed, and devastating area effect of ground pounds, completely changing the pace of the combat encounters. Additionally, the game heavily integrates the piglets into puzzle solving. Different colored piglets possess different abilities. Some explode to blow open secret paths, others provide electricity to power up alien generators, and some even grant you temporary hover abilities. It's prime Eurojank PS2 goodness. It may not have the massive AAA budget of an Insomniac game, but it has heart and a solid art direction, and it's truly a fun game loop that makes it a highly prized hidden gem for the PS2 collectors today. When you look at this exact date across 2002 and 2006, you see exactly what made the PlayStation 2 the ultimate summer gaming machine. Whether you wanted a loud, explosive sci-fi shooter with Agent J, an exaggerated co-op pirate adventure fully voiced by Johnny Depp, or a classic B-tier furry mascot platformer trying to carve out its own weird werewolf niche, the PS2 delivered. But I want to hear your side of the story. Were you busy blasting alien scum with the noisy cricket in Alien Escape, unlocking sword combos with your buddy in Legend of Jack Sparrow, or hunting down piglets in Ruff Trigger? Which of these 3 summer releases hits you right in the nostalgia? Drop your thoughts and your core gaming memories down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive trip down memory lane, make sure to smash that like button, share the video, and hit the subscribe button. I'm Dan Gnadt, the PS2 guy. I pour my heart and soul into researching these incredible stretches of gaming history, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, stay retro.
Midnight strikes!